Exploring World History by Ray Notgrass with Charlene Notgrass and John Notgrass, Lesson 14, Hammurabi and His Code of Laws. When Anu, the sublime king of the Anakai, and Bel, the lord of heaven and earth, who decree the fate of the land, assigned to Marduk, the overruling son of Ea, god of righteousness, dominion over earthly man, and made him great among the Igigi, they called Babylon by its illustrious name, made it great on earth, and founded an everlasting kingdom in it, whose foundations are laid so solidly as those of heaven and earth. And Anu and Bel, called by name Me, Hammurabi, the exalted prince, who feared God, to bring about the rule of righteousness in the land, to destroy the wicked and the evildoers, so that the strong should not harm the weak, so that I should rule over the black-headed people like Semesh, and enlighten the land to further the well-being of mankind. Hammurabi, the prince, called of Bel, am I, making riches and enriching Nippur and Dur-ilu beyond compare, sublime patron of Ekur, who re-established Eridu and purified the worship of Iapus, who conquered the four quarters of the world, made great the name of Babylon, rejoiced the heart of Merodach, who Lord, who daily pays his devotions in Sagil. When Marduk sent me to rule over men, to give the protection of right to the land, I did right and righteousness, and brought about the well-being of the oppressed. So begins the most famous legal document of ancient times outside the Bible, the Law Code of Hammurabi, king of Babylon. Hammurabi was king around 1790 to 1750 BC. His military exploits allowed him to gain control over the entire Mesopotamian region. The extensive records that his administration kept reveal him to have been an adept leader and successful warrior. Hammurabi established an effective civil service system that enabled him to administer a large area. The law code that was published during Hammurabi's reign is an example of his administrative skills. In an absolute monarchy such as ancient Babylon, the word of the king was ultimate law. This was especially true when the king was seen as having been sent by the gods or seen as being a god himself. Since Hammurabi did not want to handle each legal case himself, he established a code for his kingdom that gave judges guidance on how to decide cases that came before them. We know the Code of Hammurabi well because a 7-foot high column was discovered in 1901 on which the code was inscribed. A relief sculpture at the top of the column pictures Hammurabi and the Babylonian god of justice, Shamash. Apparently, Shamash is dictating the law to Hammurabi, which indicates the king's belief that the law was divinely inspired. The Code of Hammurabi includes 282 specific provisions that cover matters related to social classes, poverty rights, trade, personal assaults, marriage, family issues, as well as justice and equity. Most are presented as case law. That is, if something happens, this is what should be done. The code was not the earliest system of law in ancient times. Laws had been developed and followed for centuries before this day. Hammurabi's code is significant for several reasons. First, it is the earliest and most complex law code that we know, even though portions of it are missing. Second, it has provided a uniform system of justice for his entire kingdom. Third, the code was inscribed on a black stone pillar in the public place for all to see and to be warned. Fourth, the code created a society of laws and not of men so that the justice could be administered fairly. Isaiah 33:22, for the Lord is our judge, the Lord is our lawgiver, the Lord is our king, he will save us.